Are your workflows broken? Do you dream of continuous process improvement but find yourself stuck in outdated, rigid systems? If so, then this video is for you. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to use AI to implement a set of continuous improvement principles known as Kaizen. This will dramatically boost efficiencies by setting up a process of continuous workflow optimization, including rolling it out to your entire team. Kaizen is the Japanese philosophy of continuous improvement, and it offers a powerful framework for organizations looking to enhance efficiency, quality, and innovation. In addition to continuous improvement, it focuses on getting everyone involved, reducing waste, and looking at things visually to understand them that way. The first process I want to walk you through today is how to use AI in order to innovate with multiple points of view. This is a big part of the Kaizen process, getting multiple points of view to analyze a process. The first step we're going to do is use AI to generate a list of experts. Then we're going to add some detail to that list of experts. Then we're going to drop in a process and generate improvements. In today's example, we're going to improve the process of creating a proposal, specifically a social media marketing campaign proposal. I know there's a lot of marketers that watch this channel, so I thought this might be helpful. And jumping right into the cheat sheet, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I create a cheat sheet for every single video. These are all immediately accessible to anybody who supports me on Patreon. There is a link in the description where you can grab this cheat sheet and follow along that way. Otherwise, I'm just going to be sharing my screen and showing you how you can just copy and paste these prompts right into the AI to improve your processes. The first one we're going to focus on here is this prompts for simulating a team involvement in Kaizen. And the first step here is to create a list of potential stakeholders. So I'm just grabbing this prompt and I'm dropping it right into Claude. Claude 3.5 Sonnet is the world's leading large language model, so that's the one we're going to be using today. In addition to that prompt, I'm going to add the current process I'm going through for creating these social media marketing proposals. It's a fairly robust process documentation here that I've spent some time on, but you can experiment using less detailed processes as well. It would probably work even better for that. Let's see what it comes up with as far as these experts are concerned. Just to remind you, we are looking for a group of experts who might be helpful at critiquing this process. And it has generated quite a few that would be helpful here. I think this is a little bit too many. I'm going to ask it to narrow this down. So to narrow that down, I'm just asking, please narrow this down to 5 experts that might be most helpful at critiquing this process, and please make sure they represent diverse areas of focus. All right, now we've got a good list of folks that could critique this process. Now I want to add a little more detail to this group. And for this prompt, I'm asking, please return the list in the following format, where I'm putting the name of the person, or the title of the person in this case. I want to know just their role, their interests, and their concerns. I think listing this out for the next step is going to be very impactful. So again, just a second prompt that will add a little bit more about each individual's role, interests, and concerns. Awesome, and it has done exactly that, building out these little powerful descriptions for each of these individuals. And next it's time to jump into Claude projects and create a little project here that will help us improve our process. Just giving it a name and a little more detail here, creating the project. And now I want to add some custom instructions. You might see this on the right hand side. I have my screen zoomed in a little bit, so it's reformatted it. Next, I'm just adding this set of instructions. The user will input updates about the process. You'll play the role of each of the following stakeholders and offer diverse ideas for improving this process. You'll generate only one set of ideas per response, starting with the first stakeholder, returning this to the user and asking for tweaks before moving on to the next stakeholder. Continue in this fashion until all the stakeholders are accounted for. Please customize these ideas based on their unique roles, interests, and concerns. And then we'll add those stakeholders that we just created. And here's what that looks like once that's all been copied and pasted into Claude's instructions. I'm going to save those instructions. And now I'm simply writing, please help me improve this process. You'll notice I'm using these 3 quotation marks at the beginning and the end of any context I'm giving it. This helps the large language model understand the difference between the concepts and the prompts themselves. So that's a little hack that might be helpful to you, especially if you're starting to use large language models to create or improve prompts themselves. It can get kind of confused. Let's see what it has for us. And it has started with the perspective of the digital marketing strategist, giving some ideas on how to improve this proposal process, including trend forecasting, interesting, specific strategies per platform, alignment with the marketing funnel. These are all great ideas. Before we move on, I'm just going to copy and paste all of this into a separate document by clicking this little copy button down here at the bottom right. Now I'm simply saying please proceed. And here are some great thoughts from the data analyst's perspective. And now I've gone ahead and gone through all of the 5 different potential stakeholders in this process, and I've added them here into my process improvement recommendations. Now there is a ton in here. We're going to use the AI to help us figure out which might be the most impactful. And obviously you can go through and decide which of these are best to implement. But since I'm going to be asking the AI, I've gone ahead and added my process documentation to this as well. I'm going to download this and I'm going to upload it back into Claude to see if Claude can help me identify what are the best process improvements to implement. I'm just loading that document in here and asking it for suggestions about the 5 to 10 most important improvements with the goal of closing more business. Let's see what it picks. And here it is generating an artifact. If you don't have artifacts turned on, that's pretty easy to do in your settings, and it's a very helpful feature for Claude. So it has generated the top 10 from that whole list. ROI projections, tiered service packages, platform-specific strategies, A/B testing, KPI dashboards. Fantastic. So in just a couple quick prompts, we've been able to generate a list of experts to critique our process. We've had them all weigh in on the process, and then we have vetted those ideas into the most impactful based on whatever our goal is. And while we're on the topic of artifacts inside of Claude, I've added something to these cheat sheets that highlight areas where you can create artifacts, create actual tangible assets with the AI models. So in this next prompt, I'm going to ask it to please create a visual representation of the process that clearly shows each step and potentials for bottlenecks. Here's what that looks like. Let's see if it'll generate an artifact for us here. And here it goes. It's generating this artifact. And there is our process here, all outlined with highlighted areas for where the bottlenecks might be. Very cool. You can obviously iterate with this and improve upon it in many different ways using this new artifacts feature. Very exciting. You can download it right here as well. Here's another cool prompt from the cheat sheet, very related to the principles of Kaizen. If we looked at our process from the customer's point of view, what steps would they consider most crucial and which ones would be least valuable? And here's exactly what that looks like. It has identified the crucial steps here as well as the least valuable steps. Another important part of the Kaizen framework is this plan, do, check, act cycle. Let's use the AI to generate that for us. And here it goes, creating a beautiful artifact to walk us through that plan, do, check, act cycle. Going through everything, reviewing the current process, implementing templates, enhancing research tools. A lot of great ideas in here. Another fantastic concept from Kaizen is this 5S methodology. This is sort, set in order, shine, and standardize. Let's use the AI to create a detailed 5S checklist for our process. Here's the prompt we'll use for that. And here is what that looks like. It's creating a beautiful checklist here to help us make sure that we're staying on track with our processes. These are super helpful tools for making sure that you and your team are staying on track. If you've ever read the Checklist Manifesto, you know that. Again, you can download this or even publish it to the web right here. There's a ton in this cheat sheet. It is a 30-page cheat sheet, so it's more like an ebook than a cheat sheet, and it goes through a lot of different areas that we're not going to cover on today's video, such as work Gemba walks, so looking for waste and other redundant areas. It has a whole section here on creating the Kaizen culture in your organization. So if you're in charge of a group of people, this can be super helpful to getting the whole team to implementing Kaizen. I genuinely hope you've got something out of this. If you have questions or ideas for future videos, make sure to drop those in the comments. Otherwise, please feel free to like, subscribe, and check out the Patreon, where we've got access to this cheat sheet and over 80 others immediately accessible to anybody who joins. I also have some coaching options in there, and thanks a ton for watching. I'll see you on the next video.
Make your dreams come true!